Now let's see the characteristics of learning as applied to transfer. In many situations, the transfer will take care of itself. For example, if the child has learned to read in the class, this can be applied in real life situation like reading newspapers, etc. So if he has studied calculation, he may be able to apply this while shopping, etc. So many a times we see that the transfer is applied. Whatever is learned in the classroom can be applied outside, or perhaps what is learned outside the classroom is also applied in the classroom. So, some of the key characteristics of learning as applied to transfer are the necessity of initial learning, which you all must be very aware of. Say, for example, any lesson that we teach, we always take into consideration the initial learning. And also, at every stage of teaching, we also emphasize the importance of linking the earlier knowledge to the new knowledge that is being taught. So, learning as understanding, this takes a lot of time. So, without a context, without previous learning, this understanding will not develop. So, if a child was to only memorize certain things, memorize certain, a matter, they will not develop any understanding. You must have, seen that in earlier times, children used to by heart question and answers for English. That really did not help them in developing the skills of language, where only memorization was given importance, and that really does not developing the particular skill. The abstraction level also has to increase, and only when people are really able to generalize from the given situation, form the rule, then apply it in another situation, that really learning takes place. The second aspect, that is importance of abstract and contextual knowledge. Contextual knowledge is when we give them examples in a particular context. So if you are teaching them about profit and loss, so you teach them, with an example which may be related to their real life experience. So that is a particular context, and from that they are able to form the rules or whatever formula they study, and they are able to apply in different situations. So the importance of creating that abstraction, or creating the abstract or the generalization from the given examples, that is developing general solutions. The third aspect is conception of learning as an active and dynamic process. Now, for example, in your class, sometimes you are given some group work, and the same question or the same material is given to all the students. But in different groups, students come up with different answers or different ways of processing it. Now, this is dynamic learning, where students are able to put their thought process and develop something of their own in the class. So that is an active and dynamic process. This happens only when you are using this type of active methods. Generally, if you are listening to a lecture, for example, if you are listening to this lecture, this could be a passive activity, but you can also make this an active activity by thinking of the situations in which whatever we are learning can be applied. So, uh, transfer of learning, it happens actually in a active and dynamic process in the classroom. And finally, the notion that all learning is transfer. So you learned alphabets as a child, letters, and this you used it to form words. So after learning words, that knowledge you transfer into framing sentence. Similarly, any concept in science or commerce or anything, your previous knowledge is very essential for building up the further knowledge, and knowledge is connected. So it so transfer from one place to another. So some elements, new elements are added, but previous knowledge is always there. So these are the four aspects that you can say that is related to transfer. Next class we will see how we can promote transfer.